So picture this, you're about to present in front of a large group of people. What's going through your head? Probably, why are my hands so sweaty? What are they gonna think about what I'm gonna say? What if I screw this part up? What if I blank? It's called Glossophobia, and it's the fear of public speaking. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. Hi, and welcome to the BDM Perspective. My name is Brian, and thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, this channel is meant to inspire and motivate myself and others to try new things and to look at things from a different perspective. If you like what you see, please think about liking and subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The fear of public speaking. It's something that we've all dealt with at some point in our life. Throughout school, we've had to do speeches, presentations, and even at work, we have to present sometimes. And for some of us, it doesn't seem to get easier. And that's why it's one of the #1 fears that people have. When you get on stage and you're looking at all the people out in the crowd, or just the few people that are out there as well, you start second guessing yourself, you start overthinking it, and you get really nervous. We've all been there. I was there as well, and I remember some of those times where we had group presentations and you absolutely don't want to do it, but you got to do it anyway. And for me personally, I feel like I've come a long way since then in overcoming my fear of public speaking. But as with most things in life, the thing that you fear the most is the thing that you have to go after and get over. And the same goes with public speaking. It's an important skill that you're gonna have to use at some point in your life. So getting over this fear is pretty important. Now, I am by no means an expert at public speaking, but I do believe I've come a long ways on my journey of overcoming my fear of public speaking. So much so that I actually enjoy it now. It can be a lot of fun, and I feel much more comfortable speaking in front of large groups of people. So I wanted to share a few tips that have helped me overcome my fear of public speaking and see if they might help you guys as well. So tip #1 is to practice. Have more speeches. Do more presentations. Speak in front of large groups of people. The more you do this, the more practice you're going to get, the more confident you're going to feel about it, and you're going to notice it's not as bad as you thought it was. And that's why in school they have us practice this at an early age. They have us do these group presentations or presentations by ourselves because they want us to get used to this. Because later on, we may have to do that when we actually have that job and that career. And so with this, many of us actually tried to avoid these presentations and avoid speaking in front of large groups of people. And that's absolutely what you don't want to do, because then you're never going to get over this fear. And so what this is called when you're doing this, when you're practicing, is called exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is a psychological treatment that was developed to help people confront their fears. When people are fearful of something, they tend to avoid the feared objects, activities, or situations. Although this avoidance might help reduce feelings of fear in the short term, over the long term, it can make the fear become even worse. So don't try to avoid that fear. Take it head on, go first, present what you need to present, and realize that's not as bad as you thought it was. So tip #2 is to understand where these nerves are coming from. Why are you nervous? For me personally, I was nervous because I thought I might blank. I thought I might screw it up and just say, and just not know what I'm gonna say next. And so how I dealt with that was to practice my speech, to practice my presentation, get more repetitions in. So I would write out note cards, have them there, and I would have my presentation there, my PowerPoint, and I would just run through it as many times as possible. I would stand in front of a mirror, see how my facial expressions were as well, and just keep practicing. And I'd time myself as well. Although this takes some work, it definitely helped. It calmed my nerves and I felt a lot more confident because it got to the point I had practiced it so much that I knew everything. Like I knew it completely. Like I could start at any point and continue on. So this gives you a sense of confidence because you know everything that you're going to talk about. Now, I know some people like to wing it, and that's perfectly fine. I wing it sometimes, but it's a risk. Sometimes it works out really well, sometimes not so much. Being prepared just gives you that extra oomph to help you out. To know that if all else fails, you already know what to say. You know the next step, and it just makes it easy. It's just muscle memory at that point, because you know everything that's gonna happen, and that helps so much. So with practice and repetition comes confidence. So practice more, get those reps in, practice what you're gonna say ahead of time. And one more tip with that is if you have a friend or family member around who can give you good constructive criticism and not say, yes to everything or say you did amazing, to actually delve in and say, well, you can improve on this. Present in front of them. That makes it a little bit easier also, and they can help you out with it. So tip number 3 is to talk about something that you're passionate about. If you have the choice on what you're talking about or your topic, choose something that you're passionate about, excited about, enthusiastic about, because it's going to show, and it's going to make it much easier on you to present. Back when I took a speech class in college, I noticed the difference when someone was talking about something that they're passionate about rather than something that they really did not care about. And you can notice in how they presented it as well. The first person would go up and they'd talk about something that they didn't really care about. They hesitated, they were overthinking it, and you could tell they just weren't in it. Skip a month later, they're talking about something that they're passionate about. You could tell there's no hesitation. They're much more confident about it because they know about what they're talking about and they're excited about it. When you talk about something you're passionate about, you're not overthinking as much. You're just thinking about how excited you are to talk about something that you're passionate about, that you have knowledge on, and everyone else can tell. And enthusiasm is contagious. So that enthusiasm that you bring with this passionate speech, this passionate presentation will spread, and it makes your presentation that much better. So tip number 4 is getting more comfortable with yourself. And this is important no matter what you do in life, not only with public speaking. The more comfortable you are with yourself, the more relaxed you're gonna be, the more at ease you're gonna be, and the more confident you'll be as well. You'll stop over analyzing everything. You're gonna stop overthinking everything and second guessing yourself. You're gonna know that the practice that you put in is gonna be enough. And then if you do make a mistake, you'll get over it. It's fine, it's not a big deal. You know what you know, and sometimes you don't know everything. Most of the time, you don't know everything. And that's just fine. And you're relaxed that you don't know everything. This is an important skill no matter what you do. And it's difficult to obtain. I'm still working on it right now, and it just takes time. So just practice, get better at it, get more comfortable with yourself, and you'll notice a big difference. So tip number 5 is kind of a last resort Hail Mary type of pass. And what it is knowing that everything passes, and this moment is gonna pass too. So it's a last resort type of thing, and it's just to get your mind thinking that this is going to be done soon, that there's something else to look forward to. You might be hanging out with friends after this speech. You might be, doing your favorite hobby, playing guitar or going out to the movies or something else. Just think about that other thing and knowing that even if you mess up with this, it's going to pass. You'll get over it and it's going to get better. So those were a few tips on how I got over my fear of public speaking, and hopefully those tips help you guys out as well. One last thing though is to remember that you're not alone. You're not the only one that has this fear of public speaking. Many people do. Most people do, in fact. So the next time you present in front of a large group of people, remember that all those people in the audience are probably super nervous about presenting, and they wouldn't want to do it themselves. So that might give you an extra, level of comfort also. And if you guys have any tips on how you guys overcame your fear of public speaking, please leave them down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. And if you liked the video, please think about liking and subscribing to the channel. And one last thing, remember, perspective is everything.